What up? What up? What up? How you doing? What up? Shout out to some of the other. What up? Listen, y'all, I'm so sorry it's taking me so long to do these videos. You know, I usually do like back to back to back to back to back. Some days I do like 3-4 videos. I apologize. I apologize. But coming back from vacation has been a lot. Trying to get things situated has been a lot. I'm redesigning and rebranding my website for my cruise trip that's coming up, which seems to be like it's going to be a nice turnout. There's like over 130 some odd people coming. So that's been a blessing and just great. So I've been trying to be creative with the design of that. And then I'm working on this album. I'm creating and producing music. And right now I got like 20 something tracks. It's so crazy. I love R&B, so it's an R&B infused, soulful, pick your head up kind of an album about love and loving yourself and shit. Anyways, I found out some information. Let me leave it at that. I found out some information a couple days back that I thought was interesting, and it allowed me to look at things in a different light than I had been prior to the information, right? It's regarding Tavy, Diamond, Ivori, and Fauna. Okay, you want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. So what's going on, my connects? How y'all doing? It's your boy Wesley from AK Nation TV here on YouTube, the one place in the world wide web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And there's a lot going on in this Baddies universe, right? The editing is being called to the carpet because these girls was talking about they was in New York and apparently they weren't. Okay, some fan did a map 3D tutorial graphic of what what Chicago looks like and where they sat down at the bench. I said, wait a minute, what's going on here? That's crazy to me. That's so tired. Like Zeus has so much money. That's so tired. And then another person called out the fact that Summer was wearing a different outfit in a different scene with a different hairdo. And then they get back to the regular scene and she's completely different. Same thing with Nunu. Nunu and Fauna's situation was going on. Nunu had a whole different kind of wig on. Then when we get to the thing, her wig it's so not cool because Zeus has so many resources and so much money to play on our time. Okay. And with Fauna being in the headlines, well, let's say the commentary. Fauna has been in the commentary a while for the last couple of episodes because Fauna is different this season. Fauna is giving inserter this season. Fauna is giving I'll run this season. And so it's interesting seeing her in this light where we got Lex going from one person to a next. We got Dolly going from one person to a next. We got Big Three going from this to this. We get Fauna going from this to this. You know who's consistent? Cold Killer. Who's consistent from Africa to USA? Tavy. Who else was on Africa that's here now? And because Scotty has always been Scotty. Do y'all realize that the Scotty is always? I mean, she getting more amped than she's speaking. She's more vocal. She can't really do that now because she's pregnant. She don't want to get slapped up being pregnant. But it's just interesting, right? And so a lot of people are side-eyeing Fauna. And before I do the Tavy and Fauna piece, with some of the details that came my way, a lot of y'all was hitting ones and ones and ones and ones and ones across the board. Appreciate it. That's what I'm here. We're gonna talk about it. So like Mona was saying, I need y'all to get y'all snacks. I don't know how long this video gonna be. It might be short or whatever, but I want to start off with something that was on my heart, and that was the diamond piece with Tavy. Okay, I had made a video, a Dear Tavy video, and because I met Tavy, right? We talked. I saw her, to me, I saw her spirit through what we talked about. I saw her personality through what we talked about. I saw her energy. You know what I'm saying? And I connected with it. It was a vibe. Like, she is a vibe, you know? And so I was shocked when we discovered what she did with Diamond. So right away, I'm automatically on that. Well, no, I did find out about the Fauna stuff first, but then we kind of got to the Diamond stuff because I was like, I ain't not gonna ask about this. And so, because that just it messed with my brain. I didn't see, you know. And then some people were like, oh, well, it's the same as sneaking and jumping and spitting. So, I politely said it's not. It's not. And let me explain why. Let me explain why. I said in a sneaking scenario or a jumping scenario, whoever is being attacked, per se, has the ability to defend themselves, whether they know how to fight or not. Whether they know how to fight or not, they have the ability to defend themselves and, go after their attacker, right? But I said, if you hold somebody's arms down, they do not, that person no longer really has the ability to fight themselves and they become a punching bag. To me, that's worse. To me, that's like on the top of the top. Everybody's different. Y'all can feel how y'all want to feel, but it bothered me. So I was like, what is the tea with this? Like, well, first of all, do you understand why people are up in arms? And she was really like, well, I did it and it happened. And, I can't not say that it didn't happen. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to, back down. I got to stand on it. I hear you. I hear you. Ain't nobody telling you to lie. Ain't nobody telling you to not stand on what you did. But you can acknowledge that what you did wasn't the best thing. And, you can acknowledge that something different could have happened in that moment. She said, I hear you, and that makes sense. And yeah, I feel you, right? So then I'm like, would you do something different in that moment? Like, when you think about it now, and you are where you are in the headspace now, would you do something different? And then she goes, yes, I would. Now, it wasn't the response that I wanted to hear, but but it was her way of saying that things would have been different had what she wanted to happen would have happened, right? So I'm gonna give you a little backstory. We already saw that she did a video, or maybe I didn't, but she did a video expressing, how things turned out with Diamond and the fact that Diamond, they were out doing something, having a good time, whatever the case may be. They were both drunk. I've been around quite a few baddies and when they're drunk. Oh my God, it's a scene, okay? So I could just imagine, you know what I'm saying? I could just imagine. I ain't necessarily been around Diamond drunk, but Diamond parties hard. Like she does her, like she be in there, like, yeah. And it'd be a vibe though. But again, I don't know if she's been drunk or tipsy or whatever, but she always knows what's happening. She always knows what's going on and she always on that. I like Diamond a lot. And so at this particular moment, after what they did, whatever happened or whatever, they were drunk. And I guess they had gotten to a disagreement or a back and forth, a slight back and forth, right? Something to that effect. Something happened, right? I'm paraphrasing because I got this information 3 days ago, quite a few days ago. And so, and I ain't got no dog in the fight. You know what I mean? Some of y'all people like have to pick a side. I'm very neutral in this, right? I'm just dealing with the facts and what was told to me, or the sides that was told to me and how the information was relayed. So they get into whatever they get into, something happens or whatever, and they both drunk. And, Tavy gets left. Her assistant gets left, right? And Diamond's like, well, you're not far from, your hotel or whatever. So, you could call an Uber to get there. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Like, anybody that was put in that situation would feel some sort of way. Right. And if you gonna say, oh, she grown, she could have got her own Uber, bitch, no. They were both drunk. Like, what do you mean? Like, if I'm rolling with you, if we out, we not besties, but if we out, you're not finna leave me. What? Who you what? Ain't finna go down. No, no. Mind you, I wouldn't get to a level of, well, I'm not gonna say they was batshit drunk, but I wouldn't. I'm always, if I'm just hanging out with you and we just, whatever, and we're not besties, I ain't gonna be out. My position ain't gonna be out. It's gonna always be in. You feel me? Hopefully y'all follow what I'm saying. I can't hold y'all through through this video like y'all 12. But anyway, so that created a thing between them, right? Then the online push with Ivy versus Tavy, Ivy versus Tavy, Ivy versus Tavy, Ivy versus Tavy. Ivy need to get that. Tavy need to get that because Ivy held her down. Now, I don't view what Ivory did to Tavy as what Tavy did to Ivory. Maybe this could play into her actions. Now that I think about it, now that I think about the conversation, and I didn't identify it then when I spoke to her, but it just makes sense because she was on that with Diamond and Ivory. She was. Because all of the fans and the online people wanted them to fight. And I think y'all should remember that part. They wanted them to fight, throw down, get down. Tavy need to get that. Ivy need to get that. Ivy was like, I don't care. It's on that with you. And then, people re-edited. So says Tavy, re-edited this video talking about she gonna smack Ivory and all of this other stuff. So it was an Ivory and Tavy beef. To this day, I still don't want them to fight. I don't want them to fight. But whatever. So now it's a Diamond versus Ivory versus Tavy thing. And according to Tavy, Diamond said that Diamond told her that when Ivory fights Tavy, if she comes to the reunion, that she jumping in. So if I'm Tavy and I'm going to a reunion with a girl that played me or left me on the side of the road, I don't want to add too many words because, just saying I wasn't there. So a girl that decided to leave me on the side of the road, now we beefing. Another girl that don't believe what I'm telling her and is getting amped and saying if Tavy want that, she can get that. And now it's on when I see you at the reunion, right? Paraphrasing because y'all know what's going on. I got two broads after me now. So I'm on that. And that's what my mind is on. Mind you, when they get to these reunions, they all on one. They all on 10. Because they know they got to come in and fight. Baby, I found out. Oh my God, Zeus is really cracking me up right now. And I just can imagine what this bad boy shit is going to be like. I know two people that made it through the bullshit audition rounds. Hopefully they actually make it on the show. But baby, Zeus. All right. So we get to the reunion. And I think Diamond about to act funny with me. And I think, I don't know that Ivy's not coming until we get there. Whatever, boom. But now I still am worried on Diamond and what she told me that she was going to jump me with Ivory. But when she get there, it's like a Nunu and Cold Killer situation where Diamond doesn't appear to be on that with Tavy. But Tavy seems like a person that's always ready and always like, I'm on that. You don't have to be on that, but I'm on that. She gives me that. And you can see that on the show, right? So that was her viewpoint, and that's why she did what she did. Now, in the heat of the moment, she necessarily wasn't trying to hold her arms down. She wasn't. She was trying to break it up. And as instantaneously, that's where her mind went. But in the heat of the moment, it still became a thing where she held her arms down instead. Now, what she wished would have happened and what would have not made that particular situation happen was if they would have had a conversation and gained clarity and come to a mutual understanding with each other based on Ivori and her supposed to be jumping me, you know, but jumping Tavy, and what happened, and the drunk, and leaving her on the side of the road, and are they really cool or not cool? That conversation was not had. Clarity was not gained. So she reacted off of impulse based on Ivori holding her down and shit happening, and them two supposed to jump her, right? She's on edge. Now, does it make the outcome right? No. But I felt like she acknowledged the wrong in that and said that she wished they would have had a conversation, because she understands that is not the same as jumping and sneaking. And you know, it's interesting. It kind of borders on the. Now, I'm not going to say that Tavy doesn't feel like she can say sorry, or feel like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, because I felt like she feels like, and I could be wrong, that by saying sorry means that she's not standing on what she did, and she's deflecting, and she's not owning it. Right? That's how I feel like she feels. Again, my perspective. And I think that's like with a lot of the bad girls, because there's this energy and like this gravitas kind of personality that you need to have. Like, I'm a bad bitch and blah, 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 and ain't no son of me, and you know what I'm saying? That goes into the concept of not being able to, not standing on what you did and trying to cop a plea, so to speak. The culture is interesting. But I do feel like she understands that what she did wasn't the best way to handle that. And I think she feels some sort of sorry for it. But I feel, my words, I also feel that her and Diamond, we'll see. Should I? I'm sorry, y'all. I've been trying to figure out a way to say this, because speaking from my perspective and not trying to put everybody's business out there. Her and Diamond used to work with the same peoples. Her and Diamond don't work with the same peoples anymore. And I feel like it's because of what happened on the reunion and the energy that was exchanged between the two of them. There's a lot of backstory there. And so I feel like there could be some resentment and hurt in that bubble as well. And that could play into the reason why she doesn't want to flat out say I'm sorry, because she thinks, well, I mean, they do have their run-in. They do have their run-in on USA. So maybe from that perspective, we can find out new details. But the way that I received it was that they're still not cool. And it is what it is. So, you know, saying sorry to the bitch is like, what the fuck ever? Because, I mean, the bitch is, we not cool. But yeah, you know, hopefully y'all following me. Hopefully there's some adults watching. And so then we get to the Fauna and Tavy piece. Not bad for this long video, but y'all wanted me to talk about this, so I'm gonna talk about it. I like what Fauna represented and showcased on Baddies Africa. I'm seeing, me personally, not even thinking about the comments and stuff that's online, talking the same thing that I'm about to say, but I just feel like her presence is different. I feel like after, it just in my head, after the girls had I was told not to say this specifically, so I'm trying to figure out a way to. The girls were told, all the whole cast was told that all the whole cast received a talking to. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it there. The whole cast received a talking to, a stern talking to, right? And so I feel like, and I was supposed to interview, me and Fauna was supposed to get together for an interview like 3 times. Things ain't just been working out, y'all. It's been a lot going on in my world. You know what I mean? Like, it's just been a lot. But anyway, I feel like after that stern talking to, and I didn't bring this up in my phone conversation because it's just coming to my head now. So maybe I'll ask again because we gotta talk. We gonna sit down. We gotta sit down again. We gotta sit down again. But I feel like after the stern talking to that happened with the cast, I feel like Fauna needed to buck up. No shade. And I feel like Fauna decided to buck up with Tavy, Tommie, Gretch, and just buck up in general. Just speak out more, just be more verbal, get in the camera. Okay? Now, again, this is my perspective, right? So with that little bit of information, you can gather as to why she's going after Tavy, why she tells Nunu that that's not what we decided, that's not what we're going to do, that's not what you said. You said you wasn't going to do this, right? She's inserting herself more. She's getting in the camera. My perspective, not what was told to me. But I'm putting my perspective out there so that can add to what we're all wondering with Fauna, right? So now I need to look at my notes because now I need to make sure I'm speaking on specifics. Give me a second. Tony goes to it's okay. Okay, I told y'all about the pressure situation. Hopefully y'all watched that video. I told y'all about Baby Tyson. He told to go outside. Pressure stay outside. Natalie wasn't the main Greek. Natalie's a suki. Okay, pressure. The girl in the green. Okay, yeah. I told y'all about that. Okay, so what's been going on with Tavy and Fauna? Paraphrasing. I'm not gonna say it's facts because I wasn't there. Based off of information that's been shared with me, Fauna is starting to act different. Fauna is starting to assert herself more and get in the camera. But the energy and beef between Fauna and Tavy is interesting because we all thought that they was ace boom coons like big sis, little sis. And so that's not what's playing out anymore. Because y'all remember the scene where Tavy was asking the question, the big three is no more? And Fauna told her to like pipe down, be quiet. That is not your place. You know, what if they get at you, whatever the case may be, you gonna be able to handle that? And Tavy was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna handle that. What are you talking about? Her perspective was that they were and are the ops. I mean, biglex just fought the scene before or the episodes before. So they're still ops. They're still like, we're not besties, but we just fought one of them. Right? So Tavy's perspective is like, yeah, I'm gonna ask, oh wow, like the big three, we just came from Baddies Africa. So wow, the big three is no more. Matter of fact, so says Tavy, you know, other girls asked that same question in that same moment, but Fauna bucked on Tavy. They had an exchange about that, like, why you doing that? That's not cool. Like, why are you giving me this energy out in public? That's not cool. That's not cool. We move on past that, right? We move on to another scene that we see where Gretch inserts herself into a situation regarding, I think it was Killer and Nunu, or Killer and somebody. And remember when Fauna bucked on Gretch, you know what I'm saying, out of nowhere? And Tavy kind of like inserted herself in that situation because Fauna told Tavy about herself. So Tavy's returning it and telling Fauna about herself. Fauna didn't want to hear that. Fauna went off. They went going back and forth. So it was like it was like damned if you do, damned if you don't. No, that's not it. It was like I could do it, but you can't. That's what I could do it, but you can't. So things start to shift between them, right? Because Fauna is inserting herself with Tavy, but Tavy can't insert herself or say anything with regards to Fauna because Fauna a big dog. She can do how she can do what she want to do. Ain't nobody going to check her. That's a different energy, right? That's interesting, right? Let me check my nose, make sure. Killer and Tink talk about her beef with Rican over the kids. Fauna buck up with Gretchen, but Tavy check her about the double standard. Fauna insulted Tavy in this moment. So, in this moment, that we just talking about her getting on Gretchen, blah, blah, blah. Fauna says, now I wasn't there, that's what I'm being told. Fauna says, yeah, with your wide back ass. Something about her back being wide. Now, mind you, people have been talking about Tavy and her looks for some time now, right? And so now you got this girl that you think you cool with, and she calling out you got a wide back, insinuating that you a bit, And so Tavy's feeling some sort of way about that, insulting her physical, right? Mind you, this is stuff, y'all don't know this. I don't know if y'all know this. But mind you, with regards to Rican, it seems like everybody almost had a run-in with her, right? Because even Fauna and Rican had a run-in, right? I told y'all in the prior video of what happened with Tavy and Rican, right? They end up working it out. But Fauna and Rican had a whatever they had back in the day. So much so that when Tavy and Fauna were talking and Tavy said she wanted to box Rican up, Fauna told her not to, and she understood because she had issues with Rican back in the day too, right? So Tavy was on this, why you defending the girl that you had an issue with, I had an issue with, like it is what it is, like we all had issues with her. Like, why are you inserting yourself in a situation that's not involving you, right? And she said that Rican insulted Fauna about her looks. Apparently, I don't know. I haven't met her yet. But apparently, Fauna has like a fuzzy face or something. I don't know. Because Rican said that she had a lot of hair on her face. Like, I guess, I don't know where the hair at. Because when I be seeing Fauna, I don't see hair. I see just a pretty girl. But I guess Rican called Fauna out for her hairy face. Right? Which, I'm just telling y'all what I was told, right? So because Rican insulted Fauna and Fauna felt some way about that, Tavy is like, why you insulting me about my looks? Because, you know what I'm saying? We supposed to be girls, like we supposed to be cool. Why are you saying this about me? Right? So the dynamic and the energy is shifting between Fauna and Tavy because Fauna has a battery in her back. I'm feeling like it's because these women are receiving this stern talking to. And so it's like, Fauna has to carry something now, right? My perspective, not hers. I'm just telling you, or let me say, it's the way that I received the information. Tavy versus Nunu. Tavy asked Nunu what she was looking for with her bags. I talked about this in the other video. And Tavy was telling her there were no bags. Nunu bucked up and Fauna intervened. Tavy's leg was there. Nunu said, I was talking about Rican. Rican and Tavy got into it and said she had issues with Rican and said Fauna had a lot of hair on her face. Okay, I just talked about that. Rican and Tavy made up before USA, but Nunu brought up a past to make. Okay, I talked about that. Diamond told Tavy. Okay, boom. So there's a scene that comes. Oh, I can't talk about that. It didn't come up yet. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be finding out so much. Okay. There's a scene that comes up that's like the straw that breaks the camel's back between Tavy and Fauna. We don't see it in the clips, so I can't talk about it. All right. So, in conclusion, right? I don't know if y'all made it to this part of the video, but in conclusion, I'm gonna just add a little bit of filler. The cast receives a stern talking to. Women start bucking up out of nowhere. Y'all know who they are. We watching the show. We all feel like Fauna is a part of this buck up out of nowhere. Mind you, the editing is piss poor. I've already yelled at my camera about the nasty disgusting, not unprofessional editing. Like, I feel like amateurs are editing the hell out of this show. And they are editing stuff on purpose because stuff is happening on this show. And they cutting it out on purpose. Whenever you see, let me give you an example. Whenever you see two women or women talking about a moment, right? And then out of nowhere, another edit happens and they talk about rainbows and gummy bears. Baby. Some stuff in Shiz Naive was said that the people, the powers and be, don't want that shit out. Okay? One scene in particular. One scene in particular is the bus scene. Go back to that episode. Watch the bus scene. I know y'all like, Wesley, what bus scene? I ain't saying what bus scene. Watch the bus scene. After that bus scene, everybody different. Everybody. All right? That's all I'm gonna say. And I feel like 1,000% of that is added on to, you know, Fauna being different naturally, or whatever's happening with her is happening with her naturally. But I think that after that, it gets in, like, it gets in there. Like, in there, take me through there, right? And you know, it goes back to even a scene or a clip that I saw about a Bad Boys. Lemmy was saying that he don't know what he gonna do with the Bad Boys because they don't listen. And they men and they just be in here getting through there. And he like, no matter what, we still gonna do the show, but I don't know, it's gonna get crazy. And he be on camera. He be on camera saying, don't fight. I don't want to see y'all fight. He be on camera saying that. But he don't be on camera saying fight, though. So I'm going to leave it there. Okay? I'm going to leave it there. Because there's a lot happening on these shows. Okay? And I'll say it may not be Lemmy. It may be other other producers or whoever the fuck is doing it. But somebody doing it. Somebody is in their ear saying, get in here. I've heard vets in the Baddies universe say that happens. I've heard it. Hell, we even saw Natalie call out Jay Lamina in front of everybody saying she's not doing enough. What does not doing enough equate to a baddie or a bad boy? I know they're not saying going to the mall to shop. I know they're not saying that. Think about it again, because Nunu, out of nowhere, even though Fauna clocked her, but it seemed like Fauna could clock everybody else, but can't nobody clock her. Fauna clocked Nunu about, you know, out of nowhere, wanting to get in there with Cold Killer. Why do you think that is, ma? Like, you're part of that equation too, Fauna. Like, you're part of that equation too. But why do y'all think that Nunu out of nowhere decided to buck up on Killer? It's the same reason why Tavy, in my opinion, Tavy is deciding to insert herself. Y'all not doing enough. It's just not, Natalie is not the one on screen saying it to the Jay Lamina. Somebody else is. So it's just interesting. It's very, very interesting. I'm supposed to interview Nunu too. I don't know how much she would tell me though, because Nunu seems like she's very professional. She like, well, I can't talk about that. I'm not talking about that. I love Zeus. Like, Zeus is bread and my bread and butter. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love Nunu though. I love Nunu. Anyways, hopefully y'all caught all the context clues that I dropped. When I have conversations with certain individuals, I can't say too much. It is what it is. I can't say too much. I'm not trying to hinder anybody's bag. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, all these women need that bag. All these women are chasing that bag. All right? Anyways, leave your comments below. Let me know how you feel. And we got to talk about, what else did I want to talk about? We got to talk about Lex. Y'all liked her video? Yeah, let's get into Lex next. Yeah. Deuces.